The biggest sign that you're growing is if you're starting to see things from a broader perspective. When you're growing, you're expanding, and you should be seeing a bigger picture. When we start our lives, we start as babies, and as babies, we have a very small perspective, and we're very much, kind of living in a world where it's kind of us and our mother, us and ourselves. We're crying, feed me, do this for me, blah, blah, blah. And as you get older, right, you start to gradually see a bigger world. You kind of leave that nest, and now you're maybe in school, you're in the schoolyard, you're meeting all these people, you're making friends. Things change. You get to like middle school, and you start to think about different concepts. There's a lot of stuff you're learning, a lot of things you're going through. Maybe you're thinking about what other people think about you, trying to be cool, trying to think about your identity, what you represent, stuff like that, right? You get older, and it just keeps developing more and more. Maybe you start caring about issues, world issues, issues in your community, but still you kind of live in this small world. You are thinking about your local area that you're in, like it's like that's everything to you. You get older, and everything should keep expanding. So if you're growing, your view should expand. When you become an adult from that adolescent stage, you should start thinking about abstract concepts. You should start thinking about virtues and these core values, these things that are much deeper, right, and a lot more broad than the kind of just the material things that you might have thought about before, the more mundane things you might have thought about before. And you should start seeing the world. Your time horizon from which you see things should expand. Your emotional lexicon should expand. Your vocabulary should expand. Your understanding of human behavior and psyche should expand. Everything should be expanding. Your taste should be expanding. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's like, instead of thinking that growth is just based on these things like, what you're improving on, maybe you're improving your health, your fitness, or you're improving with your money. These things really aren't really a litmus test for whether or not you're really growing. The true test for growth is your perspective. So the other things and the improvement, that's kind of an expansion. It's definitely an indicator, but the true test is to ask yourself, is your perspective expanding? Are you able to actually think and consider the first, second, and third order consequences of your actions? Are you able to see how something happening here could affect things all the way over there? Can you see how things are interconnected? Can you see the past and the future and kind of the connection between these things? Can you see these abstract concepts that exist when you look at things from a very high perspective, looking down at the entire picture? If you're growing, you should be seeing more and more things from that perspective.